Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and in this video today, I'm going to be sharing 6 ruthless dangers of drinking alcohol. Now, I want to be very careful while making this video because I know on this channel, I'm all about talking about the benefits of not drinking. I'm all about sharing a positive message, and the reason why is because it's very easy for me to make those videos because the benefits are apparent in my life because I've not drank for 3 years. So for me to start talking about the dangers of drinking alcohol, I've got to reflect. I've got to look back to my experience as a drinker for almost 10 years and really start to go to that gnarly place in my brain where I just pull out the bad things that happened to me. So I'm willing to do that for you guys because I know that there's so many of you that haven't started your journey yet. You're still putting the pieces together. You're still really figuring out whether or not you want to embark on this journey of being a non-drinker. So what I want to do for you in this video is I really want to use my experience instead of giving you dangers like scare tactics and health statistics and death rates and all of this stuff. Instead, I want to go to the more sinister place. I want to go to the place that's gnarly, the place that you've probably not even gone to in your mind because it's too difficult for you to process it. So I'm going to give you that information now because I want to kickstart things for you. I want you to come away from this video thinking, hell, Leon, you're right. It's time to make a change. Or hell, Leon, the change that I've already made, I am continuing this because of the stuff that you've just shared with me in this video. That was me. That was my life. So that's my idea behind this video. So it may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable and I apologize for that. In fact, no, I don't apologize because listen, this is life or death for so many people. For me, it was life or death. If I didn't, get on this path, if I didn't stop drinking, if I continued the way that I've been going, it was probably going to end up very, very bad. So I make no apologies. I take that back. We are going into the dangers in this video, and very quickly, leave me a comment down below. Let me know some of the bad experiences that you've had with alcohol. What was it that tipped you over the edge to clicking on this video, watching these videos, embarking on the same journey that we're all on together? Let me know in the comment section. And guys, if you actually want my help stopping drinking, wait till the very end of the video, and I'm going to make an announcement about how you can book a call with me, and we can see if first principles thinking and the Sober Clear program may be good for you. So just wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. Now, the first ruthless danger of stopping drinking alcohol is the example that you set to people around you. Now, I don't care if you are 21 years of age or 65 years of age. It doesn't matter, right? There are people out there that will look up to you. That might be work colleagues, that might be friends, that might be younger family members, that might even be older family members. As a person, you have a certain level of influence over other people. Now, obviously that's going to be varying for different people. People are going to have more influence, some people are going to have less influence. But when you're drinking, you've got to think about the example that you are setting to other people. That might be, your friends, it might be your children, it might be your parents, it could be anybody. Because at the end of the day, people do not do what you say. People look to how you are. People look to how you act, and then they copy what you do. Now, I know that I talk to a lot of people that are interested in joining the Sober Clear program, and so many times when people have got children or even grandchildren, they are worried about the example that they are setting to those people. Because at the end of the day, they can tell their kids or their grandchildren or whoever, their brothers, their sisters, don't drink alcohol, don't drink like I did, it's not a good idea. And then they go ahead and drink anyway. And for so many people, it's hard to admit that because who wants to think that their negative actions are influencing people close to them that they love? That is a dark place to go in their mind. And I really reflect on my life as a drinker, and I've got a younger brother and I've got younger cousins as well. And I was not setting the right example for them. Now, I was at a point where it was my early 20s and my family, the younger family members were a lot younger than me. But now they're becoming teenagers. Now, they're kind of getting out into the world, learning about alcohol, and I had to think, what kind of example do I want to set for these people long term? Do I want to be somebody that struggles with this for the rest of their life? Hell no. I want to set an example of somebody that is confident, that is not drinking alcohol, that's got no interest in that stuff, that's helping other people. That's the person that I wanted to be. And then that means that now I can influence the younger people in my family to a varying degree, rather than doing it the other way around. Now, that might be different for a lot of people that are parents, that are grandparents, but that's the first danger of alcohol. It's the example that you set to other people. It's the action that you are basically telling other people that it's okay that I do this. And really, just by changing your drinking patterns, you have got the power to influence people in a positive way. Because at the end of the day, people aren't influenced by what you say, they're influenced by what you do. And I have seen so many people in the Sober Clear program change their drinking patterns. And I know I'm using people in the Sober Clear program as an example because that's just the people that I interact with that are actually overcoming drinking. I'm sure that there's plenty of people that aren't in the program that watch this channel that have also had the same kind of experience. But I hear people saying, Dad, I've got you back when they've stopped drinking, right? They've started to influence their family in a positive way. And that change happens so quickly. There's a guy in the program that recently went to go and visit his son at university, and there was a football game. They're in America, and there was tailgating, and he told his son he's not drinking anymore, and his son was like, that's cool, Dad, that's cool, and then just got on with it. And already, he's now acting in a different way. He's being a more positive influence. So what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter how far along you've gone, you can still change and start being a better influence. Which leads me to the second danger. And this one is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive to a lot of you. But when you drink alcohol, your confidence gets destroyed. We all think that having a few beers or, drinking a few drinks can help give us confidence. Now, I've just went to it was like a pub. It was an English pub in Thailand, and they served English food. So I took my girlfriend. She wanted to have a Sunday roast, and this is what we have in England on a Sunday, where there'll be a roast meat and there'll be potatoes and vegetables and gravy. And this is just probably similar to a Thanksgiving dinner. Every Sunday in England, people do this. And at this pub, they had this Sunday dinner. I'm not trying to be judgmental here, but there was somebody sat next to us that was clearly pretty intoxicated, and he was a young guy, maybe like 25, maybe 30, somewhere around that age. And I could tell that he'd had a drink just by the way that he was being. And there was this bravado, and he was very loud, and he was having a conversation with the table next to him. And he wasn't really talking. They weren't having a conversation where you share something, I share something. It was more like they were talking at each other. And it was like being very loud and very opinionated, and then not really listening to what the other person said, and then boom, back to another opinion. And I'm really trying not to be judgmental. I'm trying to just reflect on what I saw to teach you guys. But I remember seeing him walk to the toilet, and he, walked with his chest out and like strutted. And I just thought, when that guy wakes up in the morning, is that confidence still going to be there? Is that bravado and extroverted behavior going to be there when he wakes up in the morning with a hangover, the alcohol's worn off, and he's waking thinking, what just happened yesterday? And if he goes to a coffee shop that next morning, is he going to be like that? Well, the answer is maybe, but I highly doubt it, because that's what I used to be like when I was drinking. I would get louder, I would feel a little bit more confident in the moment, but then I'd wake up the next day and I would feel the real me. And the real me wasn't confident, right? The person that I was becoming, the person that I was as a drinker, didn't have natural confidence. There were these short periods of time where I had a few drinks, and there was like almost this false sense of confidence there because my inhibitions were lowered and I could speak louder and be more confident, but there wasn't a natural core confidence there. So when I say that alcohol destroys your confidence, what I mean is that you've got to think about what life is like when you're not drinking, right? Are you confident then? Maybe for some of you guys, you are confident, but I'm telling you that when you get rid of the alcohol, the natural confidence comes back in bucket loads. You will feel even more confident. Do you think I'd be making these YouTube videos if I was still drinking alcohol? Absolutely not. Some of the stuff that I've shared on this channel, I've not even shared it with my own parents. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm a lot more confident. I'm comfortable in my skin, but I wasn't before. When I was drinking, I wasn't. And over the past 3 years, the confidence has actually improved in a great deal. So again, if you've not stopped drinking yet and you feel like alcohol is wrecking your confidence, you can still change, right? You can turn that all around. You can become more confident as a result of not drinking alcohol. Trust me. Which leads me to the third danger. And what we've got to understand is this idea of having one drink is a chain reaction. That is all alcohol is, right? When we take that very first drink, maybe when we're teenagers, maybe when we're in our 20s. In fact, I know that there's people in the Sober Club program that actually didn't start drinking until their 40s and their 50s. But the point is that from the moment that you take your first drink, there is a chain reaction. And now for, me, when I had my first drink, I didn't drink again for maybe another 2 months. But I did drink again, and then it might have been another month, and then I drank again. And then what happened is the chain reaction just kind of became more frequent with more volume, and really that's all drug addiction is. It's a chain reaction that goes on and on and on. And the only way that you will ever break that chain reaction is by removing it completely. It's by committing, it's by going all in, and it's by making a conscious effort to break the chain reaction and then never go back to having just one drink. Because this idea of having just one drink is false. Because if you could have just one drink, what would have happened is when you had your very first drink, you would have had one drink and never drank again. Because this idea of having one drug, one dose of a drug, that's not the way a drug works. A drug works by you having one of it, removing it, having another one, removing it, having another one. And it just goes on and on and on and on until you say enough is enough. Until you say, I am done. I am all in. I am completely finished with that stuff. For so many people out there, they don't want to admit that. They don't want to go to that place in their brain where they say, if I don't stop this, it will continue forever. It will never end. You will continue doing that until you die if you do not break that reaction and go all in. Am I saying that everybody has to stop drinking? Well, no, I'm sure that there are a percentage of people out there where that chain reaction, it never gets crazy, it never gets out of control. But for me, in my story, every single time that I went to having just one drink, the chain reaction started again, it ramped back up, and before you know it, in 3 or 4 months after having just one drink, I was back at ground zero. I was having to start my business again, or fix a broken relationship, apologize to my family. Just every single time that I had one drink, the chain reaction started again. And that is why I'm all in. That's why I talk about being fully engaged, all in, committed, like jumping into a swimming pool and just being 100% done. Now, the fourth ruthless danger of alcohol is that you will hurt the people that love you and care for you. That is a 100% given. Nobody, I repeat, nobody wants to see somebody that they love repeatedly put alcohol in their body. Now, there have been so many occasions in my life where I'd promised my family that I wasn't going to drink again. I'd promised myself I wasn't going to drink again. I'd promised my friends that I'm done. I'm just not drinking anymore. And I would go and break that promise. And when they could see me struggling and when they could see me making all of these failed attempts, I just think about the pain that I caused those people. I've had to borrow money off family members before to pay my rent because I was just in that chaotic state of mind. And I just know that the pain that I caused my family was great. And these days it's great because I've been able to step up and create this business and create Sober Clear and help other people in the program. But now, most importantly, is as a result of doing that, I'm now able to help my family more. I'm able to be there for them. I'm able to call them more often. I'm not going to ignore their calls because I'm hungover. I'm able to financially support some family members, and I've stopped hurting them. Listen, again, you may have hurt family members again and again and again. That might have been happening for years. But I've just seen it so many times when people have stopped drinking. It's almost like as soon as that happens, the family members stop getting hurt. That can happen overnight. The family members, yeah, sure, the relationships may take time to rebuild. I'm not saying that when you stop drinking, your wife's going to just fall in love with you again. Your husband's going to respect you straight away. No, these things take time to rebuild. But what happens is you will stop systematically hurting these relationships. Instead, they start going in the right direction. Things start getting better. So again, it's not too late to change. It doesn't matter if you've hurt people. Well, I'm not saying it like it doesn't matter. What I mean is that it can turn around. Of course it matters that we've hurt people. Of course it matters because that pain can inspire us to change and it can keep us on the path because we don't want to hurt the people that we love. But what I'm trying to say is that you can still turn things around. Which leads me to the fifth danger. And the fifth danger does come down to health. Because again, we put on weight. Like I'd put on a lot of weight when I drank alcohol. I'd put on probably 8 kg of body fat, lost a lot of the muscles, stopped doing exercise. But then also, we've got the long-term health implications, the liver cirrhosis, the cancer, the tens of thousands of dollars that could be wasted on healthcare, the impotence. There are so many ways that alcohol is negatively impacting our health. And it really doesn't take a rocket scientist to see this. Like, I've had bad health scares in the past. I've told you guys before, I've been sick on a computer. I threw up blood on a MacBook. And I was fortunate to find a solution to this when I was in my 20s. I really found a solution early on. But if I'd have continued into my 30s, into my 40s, into my 50s, I don't know how long I would have lived. If I'd have continued on the same path that I was on, I might have died in my 30s. I'm sorry to be so crude and I'm sorry to be so brutal and so straightforward, but that is the reality. The amount that I used to drink, the states that I used to get into, I have no doubt that I was going to put myself into an early grave. Now, I have made a bit more of an in-depth video talking about some of the health consequences of drinking alcohol. I'll link you to that up there if you want to learn a little bit more about some of the ways that alcohol impacts the body. But at the end of the day, when we stop drinking, it's like everything starts going back in the same direction again. Things start getting better. Health starts improving. The body just starts rebuilding itself. And that can happen very, very quickly. So again, it doesn't matter how far along you are. Things can still get better. Which leads me to the sixth danger. This one is very personal to me. The sixth danger of drinking alcohol is that if you drink it for the rest of your life, you will never know who you could have been. You will never know what gifts you had, who you could have stepped up to be, what kind of leader you could have been. You will never know what your potential was. And that just fills me with fear. This idea of me systematically destroying my life through drinking a drug meant that I would never know who I could have been. I would never have known my potential. And by stopping drinking, you know that it's now down to you. Right? The success that you want in your life is down to you because now you've removed the thing that was holding you back. Now it's like taking the brakes off things. Now it's like removing a suit of armor and being free. And that's like my biggest motivator. My biggest motivator to not drinking alcohol is that I really want to reach my potential. I want to see how far I can go in this life. And that's why I'm excited for you guys. That's why I love making these videos. That's why I love helping you people, because I know that when you remove alcohol, that's when the great things start happening. Now, if you do want my personal help stopping drinking and you don't want to do this alone, you want to go through the first principle system that I've developed and you want my help, you want to come through the coaching, into the coaching calls, all of that stuff, then make sure to click the link in the description. If you click that link, you're going to be able to book a roadmap call. And on that call, we're going to be able to get on a phone call, me and you together, and we're going to basically look at your situation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the roadmap to follow that all the people of the Sober Clear program have used. So if you want to apply for one of those calls, there'll be a few questions to answer. Click the link in the description because I want to make sure that I can actually help you. And then on that call, I'm going to give you the literal step-by-step system, the process that all the people in the Sober Clear program have gone through. So make sure to click the link in the description. First come, first served. Click the link right now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a fantastic day.